Hello everyone, myself Ketan Bhavsar, Assistant Professor in Agile Engineering College, Ahmedabad. In today's session, we discuss about IoT, which is new introduced in the syllabus, and also we discuss about the architecture and what exactly the definition of IoT. So before starting the session, I just want to tell you that IoT is each and everywhere, and right now one of the most booming factor that people are using IoT applications. People are using sensor. They are gathering the data. They are transferring the data from source to destination. They are applying the encryption, decryption, security, and number of ways. Fine. So basically, IoT is one of the most booming factor, and people are very much familiar with the IoT word. But what exactly the IoT? What exactly the definition of IoT? How you can deal with the IoT application? How you can use the IoT application? What exactly is the IoT application? The different layers of IoT application that we will discuss. So now we go into the first session of IoT. And what exactly the definition of IoT? So before starting the session, we just go with the outline. In terms of the outline, we discuss about the component of IoT, the features of IoT, advantages and disadvantages of IoT, the basic architecture point of view of IoT, the domain that which we can use IoT. See, you can use in number of ways. There are the number of domains available that you can use IoT, right? But the thing is that we have to discuss and specify few domains here to explain what exactly the IoT is. Okay. Now the introduction part. In terms of the introduction part, we discuss about the Internet of Things. Internet of Things is a group of interconnected devices and people in which the device can communicate with each other without human interfaces. So basically we have to discuss and we have to take a part of IoT that there is no human interfacing. So it can be a communicate without human. Transmit the data, receive the data, apply the acknowledgement and number of things. So the Internet of Things allows the people and things to be connected anytime, any place, with anything and anyone. So you can communicate your data, you can transmit your data, you can analyze your data, you can provide the different types of configuration using IoT devices. So this is the main introduction part of IoT. This is the main features of IoT. Now you can see this particular diagram that we are very much familiar with this diagram. That you can see the Internet of Things. There are a number of ways that you can communicate. You can communicate with the home, you can communicate with the music system, you can communicate with the movies, cameras, mail, messages, clock, calendars, heart rate, everywhere. Ultimately, what exactly the main concept is that you have to collecting the data. It can be any type of data. It can be a human data, it can be a machine's data, it can be a home appliances data. So the data can be collected using the sensors, analyzed using the programming concepts, and then we are stored into the cloud. And then after you can apply the number of features and number of different types of algorithm for performing a specific task. So the ultimate object of IoT is to create a better world for human beings. Definitely. You have a better world that you can communicate with the machines. The machines will give you acknowledgement it is ready or not. I give you one simple example of your AC. That before reaching to home, we just turn on the AC using our smartphone, and when we reach to the home, our home became or our room became so much cool. So it gives you advantage. There is no need to wait for cooling the system. Right? So these are the few advantages that make a human life easy. Now, the main component, see, to make a human life easy, to connect with the IoT application, to connect the data, to fetch the data, we require the components, right? We require the sensors, aggregators, communication channels, external utilities, decision triggers. There are a number of ways. So these are the basic component is required when you want to communicate with the IoT devices. Now the features. What exactly the feature of IoT? Why I go with the IoT? What exactly the advantage of IoT? What the benefit of IoT? So as you can see that, first of all, the IoT features, the main feature is safety. It provides you a safety, it provides you a safe environment. It provides the intelligence of the system. It provides the connectivity to the system. It provides the sensing ability to the system. It saves your expenses. It saves your energy. These are the few features that we use IoT. It's a safety to that you can transmit or communicate with the data on your devices only. It's a safety part. It adds intelligence, means it provides or sensing the data. If the machine is not okay, then it will send the acknowledgement to the user to please repair on time before it will damage or it will break. This one is the intelligence. The smart ROs come with that intelligence right now. Connectivity means you can operate, monitor and control from anywhere. It is a connectivity. Right? It is the connectivity part. Then you are providing the sensing for gathering the data from the environment. It can be analog, it can be a digital. Then it saves your expenses. Definitely it saves your expenses. If your devices became damaged, it will give you a notification. You just please repair it before it will damage. So ultimately it generally use, or you can say that save your expenses. Energy optimization to save the electricity if there is no available inside the room, you can operate it. You add the intelligence. Fine. So these are the few features talking about the IoT. There are a number of features is also there, but right now we are considering the few features which is much more popular and which is much more used in real world. The safety, connectivity, intelligence, expenses, energy. These are the few features which is very popular and very helpful for us. Now we come to the point about advantages and disadvantages. Now we come to the point about advantages and disadvantages. In terms of the advantages part, we are talking about the efficient resource utilizations, minimum human efforts, save your time and automation and control. Fine. So basically you can control and operate it. It saves your time. It minimizes your efforts and expose your utilities. But similarly, every coin has a two sides. Some of the good and some of the bad. So similarly, here few disadvantages you can see: heterogeneity, lack of standards, technology takes control of life, and complexity. See, right now we are not take the complexity part because right now everyone is familiar with the smartphone. Rather than the rural areas, the complexity is not a big issue. Technology can take control of human. This is the main disadvantages. You can say that. Then lack of standard is there. See, if you go with the lack of standard, then definitely reduce your cost. But right now, people are using the IoT applications with the safety and with the standard also. Now we're talking about the basic architecture in terms of IoT. So basically, the basic architecture of IoT will cover three main layers: application layer, network layer, and perception layer. You can see this particular diagram. The IoT architecture for the three layers. Perception layer means lower layer and information collection. As you can see, the perception is on lower side. On upper side, you can see that the network layer. So in terms of the network layer, it's a middle layer to transmit the application or information to the application. What exactly the work of application layer is that the application layer on the top layer to analyze and process the information, and according to that it will generate some information. It will generate a trigger signal, and as per the trigger signal, your appliances, your devices will be operate, monitor and control. Now domain specification and its application of IoT. Right now there are a number of things to cover IoT applications, right? Right now we are taking one simple example of smart city. Now what exactly smart city contains? Smart city contains the environmental management, means you are talking about the environmental side. You're talking about the environment monitoring, means you're talking about to measure the noise pollution, you measure the air quality, you measure the air pressure, a number of things. Public transportation system that you can use a smart car, like right now available in the BRTS system. You can make an intelligence traffic light monitoring system, intelligence weather analysis system. Waste management is the same part. Right now the biggest issue is that we can say that in terms of Gujarat, basically we can say that there are two types of wastage, one with the liquid and one with without liquid. And how you can manage the wastage system? It will send automatically pop up if your dustbin is filled. It gives you a notification when your dustbin is filled. So you can manage and control the waste management also. Improve the public safety. In terms of the many applications, you can improve the public safety, that you can improve the camera configuration, you can add the intelligence of the camera, you can track advanced system for tracking thief and many more things. See, smart city will not cover only the public transport, environment, waste management and improve public safety. There are a number of things. But we are taking one specific domain for the smart city, and we are taking the few points which is much more important for make us smart. Okay. Now we can talking about the public health or e-application or application for e-health. Now IoT is play a main role for applying and analyze the human body, and it will add a maximum, or we can say the most important feature of e-health management system using IoT. Now, as you know, right now in the critical situation like a COVID, we fear to reach near the patient. We fear to reach near the doctors and nurses. At that time, if you have some technology that it will give you information of your body before some critical situation arises. If it will give you a notification of your all the body samples, fine, before the COVID generated or COVID symptoms will occur. This one is the biggest advantage of IoT applications. Now doctors no need to go with the patient, and patient no need to go with the doctors. You can directly get the data using the sensors, and that particular sensors will directly connected with the internet, and the healthcare department will manage your data, and as per manage your data, it will directly communicate to the doctors, nurses, or we can say that in emergency system you can directly connect with the ambulance. This one is the biggest advantage, we can say that, for the IoT applications. So these are the few advantages is very much important for the IoT applications, right? And in terms of the health management system, we have to take care about IoT, because IoT is each and everywhere. You can monitor the data, you can gather the data, you can analyze the data, you can send a trigger signal, you can make a data analysis, or we can say that a server for specific data, and as per our data, we can monitor, measuring different applications and different variables. So I hope that you are getting the data what exactly I am trying to convey in terms of the application part. But still, if you have any query which is related to the IoT applications, related to some applications of smart city, then you can feel free to contact me. So I hope that you are getting the idea what exactly I am trying to convey in terms of IoT and its definition, its architecture, as you can see. In terms of the three layer, in terms of the detailed architecture, we will study in the next few sessions. But advantages and disadvantages, features of IoT, the component will play a main role for the IoT. Fine. And finally, it's a definition. So I hope that you are getting the idea of what exactly IoT is, the component of IoT, features of IoT, advantages and disadvantages of IoT, and as well as many more. So still, if you have any doubt which is related to the IoT or its definition, then you can feel free to contact me. So thank you for this session and thank you for watching.